Freddy met Death, but Death did not want him. His obsession with revenge would get the better of him. Only this time, the entity had other plans for him. Terrified and sleep-deprived, survivors facing Freddy are on the verge of falling asleep and constantly dip in and out of consciousness, only catching brief glimpses of Freddy before falling into a deep slumber. These micro-sleeps allow Freddy to attack a survivor at any point, forcefully pulling them into the dream world in the process. Those who manage to stay awake long enough will eventually find themselves drifting into a deep sleep, where their worst nightmares becomes a reality. The dream world is Freddy's domain. Here, he has unworldly powers. By pressing the active ability button, Freddy can project an illusion of himself next to the generator and cause it to gush a torrent of blood, allowing him to take control of the projection, if he chooses. The cooldown of this dream projection is reduced for each sleeping survivor in the trial. Dream snares are traps that can be quickly placed almost anywhere. These snares will reach up and grab any survivor who pass over them, causing them to scream in horror and lose their footing, ultimately slowing them down. When survivors are affected by the dream snare, they are unable to vault quickly through a window. To further toy with his victims, Freddy has new add-ons that challenge the survivor's perception in the dream world. One of them is the dream pallets, which can be placed wherever regular pallets appear. But when one is dropped, it explodes into a shower of blood. When selected, dream pallets replace dream snares. The terrors of the dream world can be deadly. So those unfortunate enough to find themselves face to face with Freddy will want to wake up as soon as possible. Survivors who are awake will be unaffected by Freddy's dream traps. To escape the dream world, survivors can either fail a skill check, be awakened by a woke survivor, or reach a ringing alarm clock. Alarm clocks jolt survivors awake more effectively since they offer some respite before the survivors are lulled back to sleep. Even in life, Freddy Krueger was a twisted man hiding behind a mask of friendliness. He now torments his victims in their sleep, turning their worst fears into reality. Sleep is inevitable, but it's time for a new nightmare.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, good. I'm good. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm not doing good. That's what Superman does. I'm doing well.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay, hi everybody. Good to be here. Oh, okay. That's super useful. Do you want to bring it behind? No, okay. We have a few things to talk about before we get to the meat of the thingy, the jerky of the thingy. If you look at Freddy's face,
It's been dried.
Yep. So we'll get to that. First, I want to give a shout out, a thank you note to all of our mods, our ACMs, our community managers, and everybody else who works so very hard to make this happen. And Francois. That's just Carl.
And Carl?
Yeah. Thanks, Carl. We
Carl.
will never forget you. We will? Oh, it won't work. Okay. Yeah, I thought maybe we would. But all right. I also want to give a very special shout out to this very nice person. This morning I received a letter addressed to Behavior Interactive Care of me, and it was very cool. And I showed it to a few other people because it's addressed to whom it may concern, and we're all concerned. So just very pleasant, loving words from a passionate fan, Ethan Warden from Wichita. Thank you so much for reaching out. These little gestures mean a lot to us.
They really do, actually.
I'm not supposed to read this. Okay, good. Moving on. We will be at Gamescom. I will be at Gamescom. We're not going to have a booth, but we're going to have a presence there. It's going to be awesome. It's August 20th to the 24th. That's going to be the first time that we're around Europe officially.
That's really
so hopefully we can meet a few of our fans, a few of you out there. We'll give you more details when we get closer to the event, exactly what's going to happen, but we're probably going to have a little get-together or something.
That sounds awesome. We have a lot of German fans.
Yeah, I know.
That's exciting.
It's going to be my first visit to Germany, so I'm kind of thrilled about that. Also, I have a note here. I am supposed to tell you very clearly, Bill is on his way to the PS4.
Oh.
Not there yet. Obviously, people have been clamoring about that. But let it be known very clearly, he is coming. There's a small delay. So we're going to do it as fast as possible. Not sure yet if it's going to be a hot fix or a part of the next patch, but he's coming. So there.
Very awesome.
Yeah, okay, so let's get to this.
We're getting into it.
Yeah, let's talk about Freddy.
All right.
Yeah, how was that?
Seems like it's going very well.
Seems it's well appreciated. I know I like it, but yeah, I'm not the one you have to please in this.
No.
So I have a few questions here. Are we getting right into the question?
We can just get right into the jerky of it.
So, Recruit here asked us, is there a good reason why Freddy starts a trial with his teleport on cooldown, compared to Nurse, Spirit, and Hillbilly? Giving him map pressure at the start with a 45-second cooldown doesn't sound too crazy.
I think that's very fair to mention and to compare to the other killers, such as Nurse and Spirit and Hillbilly. We tried something out. We're going to monitor this change on live. We might revert that specific change and make it so that he does not start on cooldown.
Well, one of the things is usually when you start, let's say, because of an weird behavior in spawning, and when you spawn right next to the killer, it's usually not that great experience.
No.
So a similar thing would happen if he spawns at the other end of the map or spawns in the correct place, but then immediately appears somewhere else. It's sort of, yeah.
It can screw some stuff up.
But it's not impossible.
No.
We could do that.
Exactly. It was like that internally, and we thought at the before we went live, maybe we should try this differently.
So there.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, we have a question from The Lucky Boy. Have you considered keeping old Freddy in the game? Can we have an option to switch between the two?
That sounds, this has been a request that's been asked many times. Unfortunately, due to the fact that both killers are so different, and the old Freddy was more frustrating to play against, this is not something we're looking to do. It would also require us to continually support both killers in the long run.
Because that's the thing, we just don't want to leave stuff that we'll never look at again.
Yeah, that would not be fair, I think, to Freddy and to players in general. Yeah. So that is not something that's going to be happening right now. I don't think it's ever going to change, but I can't say
who knows?
Yeah,
We've been surprised before.
We have.
Okay, Snake Sound 222 is asking, why did Freddy get the Dream Snares in the base kit instead of the Dream Pallets? That's a big question. I think I asked it myself. Yeah, why?
There's also an internal debate on it. I think it's a fantastic question. So the way I see it is that Dream Snares themselves are more dynamic, meaning that you can place them pretty much anywhere in the map. To use them effectively, you have to understand how much time people are going to be affected by it, where to place them, by windows, whatever the case may be, further than windows around the loop, instead of being directly under the pallet.
Remembering where they are so you can sort of use them in a chase.
Yeah, it requires a lot more thought process from the killer. Whereas the pallets is like, I'm going to place them willy-nilly, left and right, here we go, and then kind of place and forget. And then when I run into them, when I actually have players or survivors running on that area, then I can get the benefit from the pallets. So it seems like, from at least the way that I see it, is that, and we see it, is that it's more dynamic to use the snares, and there's a little bit more of a skill and knowledge application towards the snares themselves.
There's a side effect to that also, which means that people are going to maybe be more surprised when they get the pallets.
Thank you.
Oh, exactly. You were going to say that?
Yes, okay. But I love that you said it yourself.
I thought it was exactly so clever
the
thinking
other part.
about that.
Well, you are.
Okay.
Yes. So, also that.
Yeah. It makes for a surprise because it's not always the pallets.
Exactly. So you're going to go into the match and you're like, okay, is he running snares or is he running pallets? And pallets will be a little bit more scarce, but when they are played, they will make you change your thought process towards how to play.
But the pallets are really fun. That's the main reason why people are asking that. It's like, it's so fun to be able to screw with people.
Very
like that.
in your face. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I just smacked someone through a pallet. Feels great.
All right. Next one is from The Real Dweird. Is asking, will the snares on Freddy be adjusted? It seems like the pallets are way more useful than the snares.
Okay, so I'm not really sure if he is the real Dweird. I think that's the first thing I'm going to address.
I doubt it.
Okay. Second part. On
Because
this,
the real Dweird would know that.
I think he would know. So the snares have been adjusted already. I don't know if we're going to adjust them anymore. We're going to give people time to play with them and to use them. Watching Twitch streams, we're trying to tune in and see what's going on, playing against it, of course, as well. With the new buffer system, which allows you to place them a lot better,
Yep.
and the fact that they're not just being canceled when you place them without any proper feedback, I think they're already in a much better place than they were in the PTB.
That's the thing, is they're not as immediately, obviously powerful as the pallets, but you can use them so much more and in a much easier way that it sort of balances out.
Exactly, yeah. So again, this is another change we're going to monitor. We're not doing any major changes at the moment, but
Like anything else
might
in the
happen.
game, it's up for grabs for adjustment.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys will prove us whether or not it is important to change it or not.
Yeah. But the other thing also is that by experience now, we try to refrain from adjusting things a week after we release them.
Hell yeah. There's a learning curve, right?
Yeah.
Like you're going to play against these new killers. They might require you to play differently or think differently about how you're playing Dead by Daylight. And in those respects, you're going to have to get time to actually play against it.
That's it.
Build up your knowledge base, build up your skills, and then we're going to have a better idea of how strong the killer is.
There's a question here from Ali Surreal asking, have you thought about changing Freddy's base speed to make it slower since he now has a teleport ability?
It's a very interesting question. I think because he cannot choose,
Where exactly?
yeah, like he has to actually teleport to generators, I don't think this is necessary. We wanted to try to stay away from any slowdowns that we possibly could, as those things are frustrating
That's
for
the
the killer.
thing, is that is teleport cannot, like the nurse, it cannot be used in a chase.
You can, but you can use it to
Well,
fake.
Yes,
A lot
yeah.
easier, right? In that kind
But
of
it's not a
regard.
direct like gaining ground in a chase. That's just
Not
very
really.
rarely gonna happen.
Unless they sprint burst towards a generator and then you teleport in front of
Yeah.
them. So like edge casey shit, but it's not the same thing as the nurse.
Yeah.
The nurse has a lot more control in those regards. So I don't think we're going to make her slower at the moment. Him slower at the moment. And
Was that a sneak peek?
ooh, female Freddy, that'd be really dope. You know something I don't? No,
No.
I was kidding.
No, I don't.
Yes. So
So
no,
Pat is not amused.
Pat is not amused. Sorry, Pat.
Okay.
Yes.
Someone here, Jumador, is asking, don't you think Kate's windows of opportunity should counter the dream pallets?
I think that's a great question. So Windows Opportunity at the moment, we made a conscious decision internally to see how Windows Opportunity would affect the palettes. Right now, they will show you all of the palettes when you fall asleep, which
Yeah.
includes the fake palettes as well as the real palettes. When you are awake, it only shows you the real palettes. So you can use
It
Windows
makes
Opportunity.
sense narratively.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you fall asleep, that's when you should be paying attention. It's like, oh my God, there's way more palettes than there was before. I know the real palette was that one over there because I've been paying attention, and now I can either go like just slam down the fake palettes and try to save my teammates if I feel comfortable enough, or I can try to avoid those if ever I get into a chase.
Yeah.
It's more of a memory game than anything else. It's not as direct a counter as other things. If you didn't know, you can actually use the map, and it will highlight the killer belongings. If you use the
Oh,
rainbow
true.
map, by default, it will show you the dream palettes, even if you're asleep. And the add-on for the map that also shows you the killer belongings will help
Okay.
you with that as well. So there are
interesting.
counters, but it's not really in the Windows Opportunity perk unless
No.
you're really using it for your memory.
Good, good. Now we have here Phantom Mask 2076-3 is asking, or is it 207?
It's 20,763.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Are you going to nerf anything in Freddy's kit, or is Dream Pallets, or do you think he's in an all right spot?
So as we said earlier, we're not looking to nerf the killer at the moment,
Yeah.
or buff for that matter. We're going to give it some time. We're going to see what happens. There are some changes that we are doing internally.
So it changed since the PTB.
Of course.
Between the PTB and the live release, it changed.
Yeah, not too drastically, by the way.
No, it's
It
tweaks
was
here
mostly
and there.
like a quality of life tweaks, and we're going to continue to do those types of changes. But we're not looking to do any changes to the slowdown, make it more intense or less intense, or the number of tokens that you have
Yeah.
to play stream. These are things that we're not touching at the moment. We're going to see how it plays out in live, and then we will adjust accordingly after.
But we do believe that he's in a good place now.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them? Is old Freddy in a good place too, or just the new Freddy? I mean, like in heaven or hell, or
Oh.
kind of ideal, I guess.
I don't think that's a thing.
Okay. The entity doesn't have
No.
a graveyard.
No. There's a no.
No.
It's just gone. It's a figment of the imagination.
Of the entity?
Well, but maybe there's a thing where it's recreated all the time anyway. So, from a moment to the next, many people believe that time. Not many people. There's like 4.
Oh, okay.
That thing that every second the universe is destroyed and recreated the second after.
I like that.
So anyway, it doesn't matter.
All
Oh,
right.
what? We're slowing down the pace of things with our very interesting, in-depth conversation about
Deep
life. I don't think so.
We should get the zoom in at that point, you know? No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Oink Girlmain asks.
Is she asking a question about the pig?
No,
Oh.
it's about Freddy. Freddy has his power, and therefore his add-ons reworked. Yes. However, one purple add-on named Z-Block applies the Emerge status effect. This is one, if not the most useless effect. Do you guys consider changing this effect or add-on, or feel like it should be very underwhelming?
This is a very good question. I mean, this is
also a
something
very
that people have
biased
asked.
question.
Yeah, well, people have asked this often, even from the PTB.
Yeah.
They were wondering why blindness and hemorrhage were the status effects that we're aiming for at the moment. We deliberately avoided using exposed and exhausted, as those
They're
have been
big ones.
Yeah, they're really impactful, and we can have those perhaps on perks or other ways, other abilities. We're going to maybe try to avoid using them in add-ons. It may not be the case. We might find out that this is not, it's still underwhelming or whatever the case may be. Hemorrhage, on the other hand, especially with the Z-Block, you can get it working on healthy survivors as well as injured survivors.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can, it's very good for a tracking tool. So ultimately, the Z-Block is meant as a tracking tool and not as a I'm going to destroy survivors
Yeah.
add-on, which I think people were expecting. The old Z-Block was very strong as well. So we're not going to change this at the moment. We're going to be looking into this. We understand that the feedback so far on the add-on is fairly underwhelming, but we'd like to try it out in the wild before jumping to any conclusions ourselves.
All right.
And we also think that the base kit for Freddy is actually pretty strong. So I don't know if the add-ons really need to send him over the top.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
If you're very strong and I add exposed to anything you do, it's pretty intense.
yes.
Okay, now we have a few questions specifically about the map.
Ooh,
First one is from Dave Microwave.
Dave Microwave.
All right. Would you create multiple versions of a map for every map in the game, like you did for Springwood? Even if it's just for maps like Lambkin Lane, it really helps keep the game fresh.
I know that Matt Walker must be excited to hear this. This is
Yes.
exactly what he was looking for. So far, we only have plans to create map variations in licensed themes,
Which only had one map.
which only had one map. So ultimately, I don't know if we're going to be going back to, like, let's say the farm and then creating 5 more variants for each one of those maps. That would equate to like 25.
Yeah, there's already
Maps
a
under the
lot
farm?
of maps in these one, yeah.
Yeah, so this effort for Springwood and what you're seeing is something that we're trying to put into all of our maps to have an equal distribution
Yeah.
when we're choosing the different maps.
That was the big intention behind.
Yeah, and we can't necessarily make other variations of the
In
of
some
these licensed
cases,
maps.
we're restrained just by the licensing
Yeah.
agreement that
So
we have.
this is a fantastic way to get around that. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. From what I've seen, they have been. With the new variations,
Yeah.
the different lengths and sizes of the map, I think this is. It came
And
out very
we'll
well.
also do work on tiles specifically,
Oh,
which
yes,
are
the
going to
loops.
add variety.
Oh my God! Yes. Yeah.
So-
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there. On some of the licensed maps is
So we're
what
talking
we're
about, like-
aiming at right now.
Like the game.
Yeah.
And like
Haddonfield.
Haddonfield. That's the one I was looking for.
There you go. Are you? Oh, okay. So, hi, Hate Life I hate life.
That's the guy's name.
Yes,
Okay.
it's just a name.
Just check.
It's just a name.
All right.
Are you guys going to rework all maps to the same level balance as Springwood? I'm not exactly sure what that asks. Like if all the maps are going to be balanced the same way as Springwood?
I think what I'm going to assume here, because I can't really ask the person myself. But the loops themselves are pretty favorable to both the survivors and killers, depending on how you run them.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be able to run them for a very long time unless the killer is not breaking the pallet or he's playing it incorrectly in those kind of situations. There are enough pallets for survivor to deal with, but he really needs to know how to chain them together, or whatever the case may be. So, are we looking to do this for the other maps? I do believe so. I hope that you guys are not expecting this like tomorrow or by the end of the year even, because this is going to be a long process.
Yeah, there's a lot of maps to look at.
There's a lot of maps, yeah. So we're going to go through one by one when we have the opportunity to do so. You can look forward to seeing more map adjustments like this, but they won't be happening right now.
The idea is this year, we talked about it a little bit in the anniversary, but the idea was for us to maybe do fewer new maps and go back and make sure that all the maps that we have right now are better quality.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
Which I think is
the goal.
great.
Oh, I lost the thing. Okay. I'll ask a question here from Dongly Bits.
I'm so happy you said the name.
It's a general question. We're in the general section of questions right now. So Dongly Bits is asking, could you talk about who you're planning on reworking, updating next? I know there's been a lot of talk about killer add-on reworks, additions, and changes, but I and many others would be ecstatic to hear about the next updated killer.
Okay. Cannot give dates. I'm not giving dates, but I can give you some information. So we're looking to do add-on updates on a lot of killers, and killer tweaks as well in upcoming mid-chapters. In particular, we're looking to update the nurse and her add-ons, which will be quite exciting. I know there's a lot of people who've been asking about this. Mainly add-ons, by the way, and as well the doctor are the ones that we're looking forward to right now. There are others. The Chainsaw Bros need love. Myers needs a little bit of love as well. You can pretty much go a pig. We can go through all of them. Hopefully we do get through all of them. I think we will, one by one. So
right.
yes, the answer is yes.
Question that goes back to Freddy specifically here from Islay Captain. Can you teleport to blocked generators?
No, that was a conscious decision that we've made. You cannot teleport to blocked generators. That means as the course of the match progresses and generators are being completed,
your teleport becomes less and less varied. I was going to say less efficient, but that's not true because those generators become more important as the game progresses.
Exactly. What it does mean as well, I mean, because you have dream snares and you have dream pellets, you had time to set them up.
Yeah.
It means that the map should be littered at that point, and you should be gaining strength in your other part of your power, which is the placing of traps. The teleport is to put early pressure on and pressure throughout the whole game until you get to the end game. We thought about letting you teleport to exit gates, but not going to happen right now.
Okay.
Not going to happen right now.
All right. Next one here from Kaiser. Any Legion buffs in the near future?
We are looking at it, or we're definitely going to look into his add-ons. There are specifically
Her add-ons?
His or her add-ons. It could be both, actually, at this
Yes.
point. Their add-ons. The add-ons specifically that can only apply the status effect once you're in Fatal Frenzy and you hit somebody are specific ones that we want to look at and make it on hit. So as soon as you activate Fatal Frenzy, if you hit anybody, they don't actually have to have deep wounds already to apply the status effect. So there are changes that are coming, maybe. And there are possible tweaks that are coming into there, but we will be looking at his add-ons as well. I don't know if it's going to be coming before the nurse or the doctor, but it will be coming.
Thank you. Star 99er asks, is Monstrous Shrine a perk that you think could use some balance adjustments?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's one of the olden perks.
Yeah, it's from the olden days.
Yes. Before the killer generator kicking and such.
Oh my gosh, yes, and the killer inefficiency, or no, survivor inefficiency when working on the same generator.
Yes.
Yeah. Things have changed since then. Monster Shrine needs more than just number tweaks. If you guys
probably
didn't notice, it probably needs a little bit of a rework. We are looking into this. This is not something happening
So
right now.
for the Should we do that where when we talk about perks, we have a description so that the people who follow, who are not necessarily extremely familiar with every single perk in the game.
Why don't we ask the fans to let us know?
Yes, please let us know if you think that would be useful to get all the information about the perk when we talk about it.
Yeah, just a little description. I think that'd be
There you
wonderful.
go. Just trying to help here.
Very considerate.
Okay, Clockso, I like that, it's fun to say. Clockso is asking, will you do something about Object of Obsession revealing stealth killers?
Yes. We are looking to update how our stealthy killers work with auras that reveal them. So specific words
Yeah.
are being used. We will give more information as we continue to work on it, though. We're not going to be able to tell you more than that. But for those of you who missed that, this is working on stealthy killers and how auras affect them.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is these things were like, all of these things were usually like one-shots, like a specific perk or a specific killer was done 2 years ago. And then it became a concept or a status effect, which is now a big thing, and like these things need to interact with each other.
Exactly, yeah. Myers back in the day was just cannot be
It's just
detected in
Myers.
tier 1.
Yeah,
That was it, yeah.
There you go.
Changes are coming.
Next, we have a question here from Rydog. Rydog asks, would you ever consider removing perk tiers so that each perk only has one version? With 65 total survivor perks and 60 total killer perks, this would alleviate the most oppressive aspects of the grind and actually make prestige a tempting decision while still requiring players to put time into building up characters.
I think this is a great question. This is something that we have looked into multiple times. I don't think we're going to be pulling the trigger on that just yet. We're going to explore something else first. We are definitely looking to make the grind less intensive. I'd like to make that clear.
Yeah.
Removing perk tiers is not something we're going to do right now. Just to reiterate, again, we're going to give more information.
Because
once we get
the
there.
grind is going to change a little bit because the archives are coming. And the archives are going to give you something else to strive for.
Yes.
So it can be spread around multiple different things in the game. I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, but
yeah.
no specific.
We're not
no,
gonna remove
we're
the
probably
tiers, just-
not going to remove the perk tier.
No.
Probably.
No. We have made an effort to bring them closer together. So if you get tier 1, it should be usable.
Yeah,
And then a tier 3 is just a better version of the tier 1.
which was always the intention, but we refine things as we go along.
Absolutely. We learn more and more every day.
So Khan71 asks, when will the new scores for wiggling and surviving be introduced?
All right, so the Wiggling scoring event is still coming. We're unsure if it's going to be part of the next release, but maybe at a future date. As for the survival scoring event, we are unsure of the design. We understand that the survival category is difficult to score in, and we will continue to look into the actual category itself to offer other scoring events that can help better scoring for our players overall.
Okay.
But the actual survival time is not something that we are committing to at the moment.
Killer for You asks, how do you do that pen flick thing? Repeatedly?
Practice, I guess. Yeah, I just do it over and over and drop it
Can
many
you do
times.
it very, very slowly to show people what the exact movement is?
I don't think it actually covers this. I don't know. Can you actually see it? I can't do it any slower. I'm sure people are loving this right now. So yes, that's
sorry?
your answer. Pardon me.
Okay. Werfel asks, but why are you not really considering removing the tier aspect? What's the positive effect of having them?
Part of the grind right now. I guess I can't really answer this off as a whole
Off
for the
the cuff.
company. Yeah. I
Well,
like
it is. Progression is part of the fun
Yeah.
for many people, at least.
Yeah.
Progressing through the game and getting better and getting stronger.
Finding cool stuff is always fun, and having better versions of it is always something cool as well. You have a
Yeah.
goal to achieve. You could have a goal which is basically, I just want to get these 4 perks and I want to have in my loadout, and then that's what I'm going to use.
Rarity is also always fun.
Yeah. So I think there are mental incentives to have those types of things. But yeah, I can't. I don't know if I'm.
No.
I can't commit to a specific reason myself.
It's probably worth checking because it is a valid question.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to do injustice to the question itself and the people who are making those decisions as well.
Another question here from Omni Conspiracy. Have you guys thought about making Freddy be able to teleport to exit gates when all the generators are done? Yes, you just mentioned that.
Yeah.
His teleport ability gets disabled during endgame, and I feel like it could be a little more used. But it's funny because Freddy used to be strong and stronger, sort of.
Yes, he was more of an endgame killer, right? With that being said, you do have endgame potential through your perks.
Yeah.
Right, so Remember Me and with Blood Warden, I love Blood Warden.
Yeah.
So you do have the potential to use those perks, and you still have your snares and your dream palettes. Keep in mind, if you do want to take a look at your exit gates and keep tabs on where survivors are, you can always place a dream snare at the exit gate handle. Of course, it will not work against awake survivors, but that can help.
All right, I have a question here from Cake Duty. I said duty.
That's with the Y.
A long time ago, you said a way you could tighten the gap between solo survivor and survive with friend is to make Kindred into the base kit of survivors. Did you scrap the idea, forget about it, or decide it was too strong?
So we're still looking to tighten the gap between solo survivors and survive with friends. I know we've spoken about making Kindred available for everyone by default, but ultimately, I don't think this is what we're going to do. The initiative to bridge the gap will continue, and we will look to find solutions on a case-by-case basis. And I think we have a little something in Kindred coming at some point in time. I just can't commit to any dates.
Oh, I thought you had something to show there.
No, that was the Kindred icon.
No.
But as you said, showing the actual description would be a fantastic
Yeah, I think
thing.
it'd be valid.
Yeah. Kindred, by the way, for those of you at home, I can explain it if you'd like, shows the killer within a certain radius around the hook when you are hooked and you have the perk equipped yourself. It will also show all survivors to one another.
Yeah.
So they have an easier time coordinating, saving you,
Yeah.
which is fun.
Yeah, there was a lot of these perks at the beginning of the game, and even some of the things that we do that were to make sure that without voice over, without any communication outside the game, if you're playing with stranger, you still have the information to make these decisions,
Yes,
whatever you're doing.
it's very important.
Yeah. All right, I have, what's this? Okay. I think that's it. Oh, yes. I will go back over the news, and then we'll leave you with a very interesting little thing we found on the internet. Yes. So, first of all, we will be at Gamescom, August 20th to 24th in Cologne, in Germany. We are going to do a little meetup, something. We'll give you more details when we get closer to that. Bill.
Our boy Bill from Left 4 Dead.
William Bill Overbeck from Left 4 Dead, along with the costumes for our first survivors, will be on PS4. He's delayed, but he's coming very soon. We'll make sure that it happens either through a hotfix or a next patch or something, but he's coming, definitely. Don't
He's
worry.
on the way.
It's going to be right there. Just hang on. And that's it, I believe. Huh?
The video.
The video. Yes, we do have a video.
Do we want to mention that as well, or no?
Well, she keeps saying no, but
Okay, fair
they
enough.
can argue with it afterwards.
All right.
Okay. She's right there glaring, so I'll follow her lead.
Uh-oh.
Thanks, everyone, first of all. And then we will end the stream on a video from Brush.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yes, it's, yeah. So thank you very much for joining us. It was fun to see you. Hopefully you've learned a few things about Freddy. Now go ahead and play it. Just have fun.
Have fun.
And let us know what you think.
Have a darn good time.
Yeah.
씨발.
저 새끼 죽여! 저기 있군! 저기! 죽여! 저 새끼 죽여! 저기 있군! 저기!